Before I start the video, I know I haven't uploaded in a week, and I know that Battlefield 6 has already like been done. So, but I'm here now. So yeah. But when Battlefield 2042 dropped in November 2021, yo, that shit was gonna be so hyped because of the trailer and the action, the gameplay, and the trailers. It was like it was fucking juicy. But then when they dropped that shit was hot ass. All their time into developing the game actually went to these fucking cinematic trailers and that they dropped, and that shit was so good and it fooled all of us, and I wanted to fucking cry when I played that game. And then this IGN review had the nerve to fucking give it a 7. Bitch, that shit was a fucking 2. When I first saw a hovercraft going up a building and then flying across my fucking screen, that's how I knew this game was already on its bullshit. Like, no joke. But I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. That shit was funny a little bit. But I refunded that shit after like a game or 2 or maybe 3, possible fucking maximum 3, because that shit kept crashing every time. Not gonna lie, EA gave us the same treatment as Fallout 76. I found this online while searching Battlefield 2042 review with IGN. If this person, what he's saying is true, then damn. When the game was finally launched by EA, that shit was into disaster immediately. Everyone's fucking game kept crashing, people getting kicked out of the servers, people just losing their shit. And the missing core features that they were fucking missing was no scoreboard or no in-game voice chat or barely any gun customization. Oh, so do you guys remember when they started pushing like cosmetics and then microtransactions more than pushing out patches? You remember that? Yeah? Yeah. Another thing is that EA sponsored YouTubers promoting Battlefield 2042 when YouTubers knew that game was hot ass, but they just wanted to get paid. But low-key, I respect them. They gotta hustle. One of the trailers that you're seeing right now is supposed to be one of the maps that you're supposed to play on, but then when you play on it, it doesn't actually contain inside the city. What I mean by that is that most of the maps are very wide open. Like, there's so many open areas. All right, so Kaleidoscope, you fight in the city, but you don't really fight in the city, if that makes sense. You fight in these fucking buildings most of the time. I don't know if that makes sense, because most of the time you're not fighting out in the open. You're fighting in these fucking buildings, tall ass buildings. And then when you reach to the top of the tower where the point is, you see fucking tanks and hovercrafts all over your shit. Not to mention that there's no cover on this fucking map or in any other maps, because it's just mainly fucking wide open areas. And one of the main problems of this game when it first came out was the call-in system. The image that I showed you earlier with a bunch of fucking tanks and hovercrafts on there literally were called in on the top of the roof, and it was very impossible. Like, almost it was if y'all ever played Battlefield 2042 when it was released in the beginning, you'll understand the pain, because fuck me. Another thing is that most of the time you couldn't destroy the buildings when that's the whole purpose of Battlefield, to destroy shit. But in 2042 you could barely destroy any of the buildings, even the basic ass buildings. The time of recording this, EA already put a special weekend deal for Battlefield 2042. Instead of $60, they slap you down with another $3. Instead of $60, it's a $3. Alright, so the whole point of me yapping about this low-key is to just prove a point that EA cannot fuck this up whatsoever, because this is basically the last chance on them proving themselves for a trustworthy company. You can see the bug where the character stretches out its neck, kind of like a fucking giraffe. Look, what I'm trying to say is that during the playtest, it looked fine, it looked good. Just looks like an actual military style that they promise. And the cinematic trailer that they released for this game looks kind of exactly like the same in the game, unlike Battlefield 2042. Look, I hope EA doesn't change anything up or switch anything up or like add more cosmetics or skins to the game that aren't related to it. I hope they don't bait and switch, because that would be really bad for EA, and then no one will trust them again and no one will ever buy their dumbass product again. That's basically what I want to say throughout this entire video. The video is really short, ain't nothing much to it. I don't want to stretch this to like an 8-minute video because there's nothing to talk about much besides just saying like this is their last chance to make a good Battlefield game. So probably I'm just going to end the video off right here, and thank you all for watching. If you like my humor, please subscribe. Peace.